Hello, folks. Welcome to the Hello World Podcasting with Magdalena. How is everybody doing? Listen, thanks for tuning in and welcome to my podcasting. I just wanted to welcome everybody, uh, wherever you are listening from, all around the globe. Thank you for tuning in. And for those who are new, I just wanted to give you a little idea what my podcasting is about. It is about personal growth, personal mastery, trying to figure out, who we are, who the heck we are in this whole complex of craziness, sharing the information with each other. And in a process, actually, I love to use astrology as a GPS for the personal and collective guidance. To me, astrology is an amazing tool because it kind of gives you, constellation ahead and gives you an idea where the planets are, what sign are there. And since astrology is dealing with the four elements, water, fire, earth, and air, it's always showing us, the dynamic of the partnership between those planets and actually between those elements and how we are actually mastering them. Some people believe in astrology, some don't. So, it is all, excuse me, about the preference. Astrology been here for thousands and thousands of years, and look, like I said, some like it, some don't. So, but the point is, for me, it serves as a GPS, and besides all information, we always still have a free will. This is why I do not use astrology as a prediction, but as a guidance, and so we can, see what is maybe ahead, and gives us a little hint where we can actually prepare ourselves or avoid something and kind of detour it. You don't have to go into the mess if you don't need to. Know where to do that detour. So anyway, yay! How we are doing, folks? Insane. But you know what? I kind of love it right now because it just kind of puts you in this space of you have to totally let go so that you can actually have a whole new experience. As I've been constantly talking about right now for months and months and months, that we are in this midst of the eye of the tornado, meaning in the midst of the change, and there is nothing we can do about it to stop it. We can go in denial, but that will not help us to move through it, or it will not protect us from the change that we are actually facing, and that is actually sweeping the whole planet as we can see it. So right now we have a very interesting mixture. We have Sun in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius, and Jupiter in Sagittarius. Holy moly, folks. Talking about creating a whole new chapter. Finding actually a space we can rediscover the truth again. Recognize maybe that the old truth that we thought it is, still truth, it's not serving us anymore. And we may have to kind of let it go. This is where we have actually the Mars in Pluto, in Pisces, and Chiron in Pisces. So practically the Mars is very much right now powerless. It is in the collective, this universal water, and is surrendering actually to the more to the spiritual aspect. Remember when we had Jupiter actually in Scorpio, we had all these revelations, all the underground was coming on the surface. Well, we still have this whole thing. But right now, it's actually a little different energy, because right now, the collective is actually dealing with those revelations. And, you can see it, what's really going on actually in Europe. People are fed up, and it's actually spreading globally, which is absolutely fascinating. But one thing what we really have to also be careful here is that what kind of message is getting actually spread here. Because sometimes it could be actually the false information that is kind of sneaked through, and getting promoted. I mean, I was just kind of watching this video, and I'm not quite sure in what country in Europe they were protesting about the global climate and the climate change, and they were using actually children. And I felt pretty sad that children are becoming the instrument, because we are really falling when we are listening to the children. That we are becoming more sympathetic to the children, than to the adults, and they are pushing the climate change. Yet in reality, it could be actually a sneaked in message, because yes, we are dealing with the climate change, but what is really truly the climate change? There is a natural climate, but there is also a lot of stuff that is actually man-made, and we really wanted to be cautious about when they are starting to push at the geoengineering. That is actually, even making the whole thing much more complicated. As I was listening to somebody, and she says, yeah, we are getting actually taxed right now, even just to kind of breathe and being a living individual here on the planet. So, like I said, we really, really wanted to become informed what is truly going on before become actually the victims of the next stage. So, look, like I said, the Sagittarius is here, a very interesting aspect that can really kind of push the truth, and we have also the Mercury finally went actually forward or direct, and it's right now in Sagittarius. So it's not that we just have the sun in Sagittarius that is shining the light about issue, the truth, and what's really going on, but we can actually, with the Mercury in Sagittarius, communicate that truth. So that's fascinating, actually, And then on the other side again, Jupiter being in Sagittarius, we have to watch, because it's about expansion, and it can be expanding in positive or negative way. So that's a little tricky one. You know what I'm saying. But it is pretty fascinating that actually that the whole global population is starting to move, starting to wake up. What's really going on, and say no in many cases. Simple as that. And then on the other side, we still have Uranus in Aries, who is our liberator, our individual liberator, and supports this whole, new movement. And our North Node in Cancer is fascinating. That what we are doing with that, we are actually bringing home, or internally, all this wisdom, and stabilizing it, so that we are not spreading the information too much out, but keeping it, and see how we can apply all these aspects in our life. So for many people, as I've been talking about, this is a really difficult time, because it's just too much, folks, to digest this, because we've been right now impacted from all angles. And in many cases, it's just too overwhelming for many people. And a lot of the time, I can see it as I'm, watching a lot of coaching stuff, because I am also a life coach, and helping people, to how to kind of, ground themselves, and work on themselves and strengthen themselves. I see in many cases that people are just, pushing this positive thinking, and all this, be happy, joyful, blah, 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 blah. And let me say this. This is very, actually, I don't want to be critical in this situation, but we are not serving then our client if we are actually misguiding them. Okay? Because that's not what the true healing is about. The true healing is, to face the shadow, face all aspects ourselves, so that those aspects are actually coming home and grounding in ourselves. This is what we are doing right now, actually, with the Chiron in Pisces. Finally finishing the Achilles aspect in our lives, where we are wounded. We wanted to kind of finally heal those wounds, so that we can actually, move into this whole new chapter. So we can actually move into new chapter of adventure. So what is it that we wanted to learn and expand? This is what it will end up to be. This Jupiter in Sagittarius until December 2019, So, we are dealing with a lot of other issue with the Sagittarius right now. As I said, it's about expansion. So it will be, dealing with foreign land, migration, and immigration. This is what's really going on. But again, look, like I said, we have to be very careful. How is that actually perpetrated? Because, now you can actually see on YouTube how many people are right now posting that actually, how UN is behind all this migration. And there's some agendas behind that. Instead, people moving legally to different countries, and go through the paper trail and paper stuff and everything else. So this is, whole different issue. And I'm actually, surprised